What's going on, everybody? It's David Palmer, the Leo King, and this is a weekend report and also a special video I'm doing just on the lunar eclipse in Aries that is going to happen on Sunday. So this is for the 26th and 27th. Very unique eclipse to happen. Number one, that's because we're right at the nodes getting ready to shift. And if you don't know too much about astrology, the nodes are the knots, literally Latin. Node is knot in Latin. Then these invisible knots in space are where the eclipses change. The eclipses are in different signs. They happen in different areas, believe it or not. That's because of just the way that the whole universe works. And the sun and the moon and the earth have a very weird relationship. And this relationship is bringing us at such a culmination point in all of our lives, with Saturn switching signs into Sagittarius, ready for us to expand in our life and try new things and get out of these deeper, more intense, 3-year cycle energies that we've been in. This is also a time where we have Uranus in Aries, where the full moon lunar eclipse is going to be, which is trying to break free and innovate and find wherever we want to go. But there are restrictions in our life. That Pluto and Capricorn that just went direct this week as well, it's been revealing over the last 3 years especially that, man, we just can't fully go where we want to go. That's what it is at the end of the day. Whether you want to call it that it's the government, some astrologers get into that so much. I'm not one to talk about the governments much. I could kind of give a crap. But there is an energy of always feeling like a leash that doesn't let you break free. And this full moon lunar eclipse is about highlighting this ego, this identity, this self that wants to get what it wants, the way it wants it. But the sun is in Libra, learning, chill out, relax, learn to enjoy the sunset, learn to enjoy harmony. And find harmony in your life. And it's not easy to find harmony when you can feel like things are crazy. When you get Mars and you get Jupiter in Virgo like it is right now, Mars and Jupiter just don't hang out in Virgo like this. This is decades to happen something like this. And it is extreme. Oh my gosh, this. It feels like there is so much coming at us. And we need to be free when we want to. But the universe is teaching us to find harmony and to find balance in places that we're not used to. Teaching us that we just don't break out of the cage whenever we want to. That there's great lessons when we pay attention, when we become conscious, when we learn to surrender, when we learn to become aware, when we learn to realize that our ego and our identity that we have always thought we wanted is changing now. And it is about that change that we have reached to. A week where Saturn's in Sag. It's time to learn more, and it's time to teach, and it's time to grow, and it's time to mature. It's time to become wiser. It's also a time with Pluto coming direct that this has been a 7 to 8 year cycle of Pluto that has been transforming you in ways that you were not expecting. And we're at this culmination point, which is you ready to see that you've been fighting against your own systems of control, or whether they're external. But we manifest and externalize everything from what's happening internally in our own ways. Some people blame it on the government. Some people blame it on Obama. Some people blame it on this. Some people blame it on their relationship. Some people, whatever you are out there pointing your finger at as the reason why, is the part of you that has to die. Kind of rhymes. And that's what this is about. There's a huge culmination and ending point. I said in my Uncut this week that I was, I didn't want to say that this was a final point just because there is a Mercury retrograde happening in the middle of this eclipse, which is squaring Pluto, I do believe, though, that this is a major end because next week after this eclipse, it is like one of the easiest weeks I've seen in astrology this year. So let this be a full moon lunar eclipse that lets go of your ego. This is the south node at 1 and 0 degree of Aries, the first degree of Aries. This is the first degree of, you know, the true ego when it gets out of the cage. And for some reason, there's a part of us, that part that wants all these things to happen a certain way, that has to learn to chill out and watch the universe deliver it right, realize that you have to have partnerships that work right in order to get what you want, and learning that there are two sides to the story. It's not all just positive, it's not all just negative, it's not all just this, it's not all just that. It's not all just this one thing, that there is a beautiful, harmonious universe out there that we need to learn to put all those pieces together. And I think that's what Neptune and Pisces is teaching. It's learning to not get lost in just one area, but learn to circulate everything in your life together now. And I think that that's been difficult for us. I think that we get so stuck and so pulled in so many directions. How do we stop, find peace, and put it all together and let go of an old self that's desperately trying to break away from the one place where it really needs to go, which is the place of peace and the place of harmony, which I think is the hardest place for us to truly find inside. Thanks for watching me, and thank you for supporting me. I really, truly appreciate it, and I hope you have a wonderful eclipse. Let this re-empower you, because don't forget that Aries is about empowerment. And even though it is the south node, it is Uranus, it is a full moon lunar eclipse in Aries, I think what this is doing is really repowering ourselves to be our stronger and better and fresh new self. It's like a new set of clothes, or when the emperor gets new clothes. Thanks so much for supporting the Leo King. You can always subscribe on my app, or you can always get any of my products at inclusiveastrology.com. Thanks so much, and I will see you on my next report.